What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a great wide receiver quiz on some of the best routes you guys can run in one-on-one situations, okay? So I hope this video helps you guys out. And again, if you guys are not familiar with our quiz style format, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys 3 specific clips of a pre-snap read that you will have to make as a wide receiver. I'm going to let you guys pause the video. I'm going to give you guys a route that you guys would run against this look or that you have pre-called, and you guys are going to think about how you would run the route, what you would structure your release, your move at the top of the route versus this specific coverage. Then you could go ahead and play the video and we're going to break it down. So if you guys have any kind of feedback or any kind of videos you guys would like to see next on this channel, don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. Let's get started. So first release here, or first route is going to be a 10-yard speed out. And again, look at the wide receiver split. We're at a reduced split versus a head up press DB. Okay, so think about how this DB is going to play it and how you guys would run a 10-yard speed out versus this coverage. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to break this thing down. So if you guys said, again, the key that I said in that little intro was that he has a reduced split. So we have to understand as a DB, what is a DB thinking with a reduced split? He is thinking what? Outside breaking route. So you guys probably will not get the outside release because that DB, as you can see, he's in head up press, so he's not inside shade. So that probably means that he is kind of content with the inside release right here. It doesn't necessarily mean that he has like safety help if he's head up like this. So we can probably anticipate that this guy's going to be trying to take away the outside because he's a smart DB. We got to anticipate that a DB is going to be smart. The DB's inside shade, different story. But if he's head up or outside shade, you would want to take the inside release, work to restack or work to throw by. So if that's what you guys said, it would be correct. Now, if you guys said, oh, I'm going to set him up with a move to the inside and then take the outside release, that might work, and that for sure could work. But the only problem is that we have to understand as a receiver how a DB thinks. My split is cut down, so he's probably going to be taking away the outside. So let's watch it full speed, and we'll show you how this should actually be ran. So again, this DB jumps right to the outside, wants to take away the outside, and this receiver does a great job of selling fade, working this throw-by technique. That's exactly how you run that 10-yard out. But you see right off the snap, the ball, where does that DB go? Step into the outside. He's expecting the outside route. So as a wide receiver, I need to know that. I need to know how that DB is thinking. I need to know how this DB likes to play it. As a wide receiver, when you're studying film of a DB, you should be studying these things. If you see that, okay, anytime that I reduce my split, this DB loves to play outside shade. All right, I got a plan for that. Going into the game that week, I have a plan. I could use a release just like this wide receiver uses. It's called a wide step, where you step wide to the outside, threaten that DB's leverage so he'll keep the leverage, and then I take the inside release. Now, some of you might say, well, I thought I was right because on an outside breaking route, I want to take an outside release. Not always true, because if this DB's outside shade and you force the outside release, he's going to get right into your hip pocket, squeeze you to the sideline, and you're going to have no space to break out or for the quarterback to lead you. So you want to make sure that we stay on this straight path. Do not force the outside release. If that DB's outside shade, you think he's going to play outside shade, be content with an inside release. That's how you guys would run that. And that is one of the best routes you can run in a one-on-one situation. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job from this wide receiver hitting the wide step, selling fade to get that DB to commit his hips, and then breaking this thing right off. So now, second clip we're going to be talking about here is this inside shade coverage, and we're going to be giving you guys a comeback route. But before we break down this comeback route, I want to talk to you guys about a great opportunity we are offering this offseason, fellas. We are traveling out to 8 different cities across the United States for 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps. We already got done with our camp in Tampa, Florida, and then last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, we were in Phoenix, Arizona, and we really appreciate everybody who attended. And now we're going to be traveling to Houston, Texas, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So we're really looking forward to come out to these states, fellas, and connecting with you guys. We have a lot of people that show from our YouTube community, and we 100% appreciate it. These camps, what you can expect, it's a 2-day-long camp with limited spots. So the reason why we're doing that is because our goal is to develop you. Our goal is to develop you as an athlete, help your skills get better, and take your skills to the next level. A lot of these camps, they do it wrong. They get 100 kids out there. It's just running kids through drills, and they're trying to go as fast as they can. That's not what we do, and I can tell you that right now that anybody that's worked with us knows that about us. So if you guys want some more information on our camps, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you. Our Newark, New Jersey camp is completely sold out, but every other camp still has slots available, fellas. So very first link in the description below. We would love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. Let's get back to this video. So now, like I said, inside shade press like so, and I have to run a comeback route at about 15. So think about how you guys would run this, how you guys could sell this route, and then we'll go from there. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to break this thing down. So, inside shade guy, we automatically right off the bat should know this. He's inside shade for a reason. He does not have help to the inside, and he is trying to force me outside. The sideline is his help. So it's like the last clip we talked about with that outside shade guy. He's trying to force you to his help inside. The help is his sideline. So that's where he's trying to force you. So as a wide receiver, I need to make sure I don't just take off and run. So if you said, oh, I'm going to give him a quick move and then just get off to the outside right now. The problem with that is that if you don't sell the move enough and don't step outside of his frame, and that's what this receiver ends up doing, you're going to get squeezed all the way to the sideline, and on an outside breaking route with an outside release, you have to give that quarterback space to lead you. Take it from a guy who's got experience with both positions. You need to have some space. But that quarterback will not throw you the ball if you're hugging the sideline because it's going to be picked every time if he's even a little bit off. So let's watch it full speed. So if you said, I want to attack the DB's leverage, get him to keep his leverage, then work to restack over the top and run the comeback, you would have been correct. Now, if you said something like quick move, get to the outside right now, or just get to the outside right now, you'd be wrong. That's what a lot of people think. A lot of people see this inside shade look and they're like, oh, I have an outside route. I don't need to worry about the release. That is how you get squeezed to the sideline. So let's watch it full speed. So again, he doesn't sell the move well enough. And look at this. This is honestly the only reason this worked is because it was a great break and the quarterback put it in a perfect spot. But this route should not have worked if this DB would have played this thing better and probably would have gotten hands on this wide receiver because this is way too close to the sideline for a comeback that started inside the numbers, like not even on top of the numbers, inside of the numbers with almost a reduced split. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because imagine if he was on the numbers, how far he would have gotten rerouted to the sideline. There would have been absolutely zero space for him to accelerate out of the route. So why did this not work? It's because he didn't attack, he didn't sell anything, right? He didn't give a hard enough move to the inside. He wasn't on the attack. He was doing a lateral movement. That's what you guys have to understand off the line. We got to threaten this DB here. I have to threaten him here. I don't want to threaten him here to the sideline. Because what's he going to do? Or to the middle of the field? He's just going to shuffle with me. You're not threatening him vertical. He does not think that you were trying to cross his face. He thinks that you were giving a release. We don't want to make a release look like a release. We want to make a release look like you're trying to get off the ball and get off right now, and that's what will make him move. So when I do this, again, like I said, he's just going to get hands. He should have gotten more hands. Great job fighting the hands by the receiver, and he does a great job at the break point. But you want to make sure that we set him up here. Let's restack and get back to the line so that quarterback has space to lead me on this throw. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. So comeback against man coverage can be one of the best routes to run in one-on-ones if you do it correctly. If you're able to sell vertical, if you're able to get that DB's hips out of there and give yourself space to accelerate, you will get separation and win the route. Let's watch it again, full speed. So make sure we attack the DB's leverage, fellas. The only reason this worked is because it was a perfect ball and a perfect breakdown at the top. Okay, so now, last route. This is going to be I would say this. You guys should be. I would say this should be a situation you guys all should be familiar with. But I want to talk to you about something right now. So this is going to have to do with the technique of the release that you're going to use, and you guys should all probably get this correct if you're familiar with this page. But there's a couple key things that you want to understand. So look at where he's at on the field. These are the numbers, right? So extremely wide. You have an inside shade press coverage DB, and you're running a slant. So think about that. How would you guys run a slant versus this specific coverage when you're this wide? So you guys can go ahead, pause the video, and now we're going to break this thing down. So when he's this wide, and you got an inside shade guy like so, the issue with this is that DB 100% of the time should be expecting an inside route. So as a wide receiver, we really, really have to sell this release. So if you guys said diamond release, where you take 3 steps to the outside and you're trying to sell fade, so in this case, your right foot's up, you'd go left, right, left, and you go 3 hard steps on the 45, and you're trying to get this DB to bite on the fade and slip back underneath, DB should be smarter than this. DB should not bite on this because I'll play at full speed. So he explodes, gets the DB to jump, and then again, you see what happens. Gets him completely off that platform, right? So when I go here and I do this, you got to make sure we sell it. That is the number one thing that I want to get across to you guys. This is not a time or a situation when you are this wide to do any kind of slide release, any kind of patient move, because that DB will sit every single time on that because you're super wide. You have to get off the ball right now. You have to go as fast as you can, and you have to self-fade as hard as you can because of your alignment. A disciplined DB will probably not bite unless you do exactly what this wide receiver does. He bursts. Everything about this looks fade. All his speed looks fade. His hips and his shoulders look fade. His eyes look fade. Everything about this is saying that, oh, crap, I don't want to get beat deep. I don't want him to get outside of me. And again, that's what it takes, fellas. That's why it's so important to have ankle stability, knee stability, develop experience, explosion with your breaks, because you got to be able to do things like this to get separation in certain situations, especially when it's one-on-one coverage. So make sure, fellas, you guys probably all should have gotten that correctly. Inside shade, going 3 hard steps to the outside. But since you know, you got to understand alignment and got to understand how a DB thinks. If you understand how a DB thinks, your job becomes a lot easier off that line of scrimmage. Let's watch it again, full speed. Great job selling fade. Great job having some explosion on the break point to get that DB to jump even when the split was super wide. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback from you guys. You guys help the channel keep rolling, so I really appreciate it. And again, if you have any kind of video feedback, ideas you'd like to hear, don't hesitate to share that as well. And again, fellas, if you're local to one of the 8 cities we are traveling to this offseason, we'd love to have you out to one of our 2-day-long camps, 4 hours each day. We'll have DBs out there for the wide receivers to work one-on-ones, half-line concepts, and the works. So very first link in that description below. I'll see you guys next time.